Act 1. The paper on the desk. September 27, 1940. Inside the Oval Office, Franklin Delano Roosevelt is looking at a piece of translated intelligence that makes the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans completely irrelevant. 4,000 miles away in Berlin, the flashbulbs are going off. The foreign ministers of Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, and Imperial Japan have just signed the Tripartite Pact. To the public, it is a grand declaration of a new world order. But to the man sitting in the Oval Office, it is a steel trap snapping shut around the neck of the United States. The text of Article 3 is short, and it is ruthlessly specific. It dictates that if the United States enters the war against any of the three empires, it instantly goes to war with all of them. If America fights Germany in the Atlantic, Japan will strike America's unprotected back in the Pacific. If America tries to stop Japan from swallowing Asia, Hitler will declare war in the Atlantic. It is an insurance policy against American interference. It is a mathematical checkmate. Act 2. The boardroom reality check. The American public doesn't understand the math yet. In the autumn of 1940, the United States is strictly, aggressively neutral. The public has watched Europe tear itself apart, and they want absolutely nothing to do with it. And even if they did, they don't have the tools to fight. You have to look at the terrifying reality sitting on the desk of the War Department. In September 1940, the United States Army is ranked 18th in the world. They have fewer than 190,000 men. They are using bolt-action rifles from the First World War. While German panzers are slicing through France in 6 weeks, American troops in Louisiana are conducting training exercises using trucks with the word tank painted on the side because they don't have enough real armor. Roosevelt is staring at a catastrophic deficit. He cannot ask Congress to declare war. The isolationists in the Senate would string him up. But he also knows that if he does nothing, the math will eventually kill the country. Because here is the secret calculation Roosevelt is making. Great Britain is standing completely alone. They are out of money. They are running out of bullets. If Britain falls, the British Royal Navy falls. If the Royal Navy falls, there is nothing stopping Hitler from sailing directly to the shores of South America. And if Roosevelt moves the American Pacific Fleet to the Atlantic to block Hitler, Japan will instantly seize the Philippines, Guam, and Hawaii. The president has an army the size of a European police force, a hostile Congress, and a two-front war speeding toward him on a strict timetable. He doesn't need a speech. He needs a miracle in manufacturing, and he needs bodies. Millions of them. Act 3. The boardroom gamble. Roosevelt cannot attack the Tripartite Pact directly, so he executes one of the most brilliant high-stakes political maneuvers in American history. He decides to use the terrifying weight of the Axis threat to strong-arm a stubborn nation into preparing for a war they haven't entered yet. He pushes for the Burke-Wadsworth Act, the Selective Training and Service Act of 1940. It is a peacetime draft, the first in the history of the United States. The blowback is immediate and violent. Mothers march on Washington. Isolationist senators accuse Roosevelt of being a dictator, of trying to build a personal army to crown himself a king. The debate in Congress turns physical. And remember the timing. Roosevelt is attempting this in the middle of a presidential election year. Asking millions of mothers to hand over their sons during peacetime is political suicide. His advisors beg him to delay it, to wait until after the November election. Roosevelt refuses. He knows the clock is running out. In the closed-door meetings, the argument he uses isn't about saving Europe. It's about cold, hard American survival. He points to the Tripartite Pact. He points to the red triangle. He tells the Senate, "Look at the map. They have already divided the world. We are the only piece left." The fear works. Act 4. The engine starts. On September 16, 1940, just 11 days before the Axis powers officially sign their pact in Berlin, Roosevelt signs the draft into law. The trap that was meant to paralyze America has accidentally triggered its mobilization. ACT 4, the engine starts. The arithmetic of the world begins to change overnight. The law requires 1.2 million men to be trained in a single year. It is a logistical nightmare. There are no barracks to house them. So the army builds cities of tents. There are no rifles to give them, so factories that made refrigerators start tooling up to make M1 Garands. When Hitler, Mussolini, and Tojo signed the Tripartite Pact, they believe they have isolated Roosevelt. They believe the American society is too soft, too deeply divided, and too mongrelized to ever present a unified military threat. They fundamentally misunderstand what they have done. By threatening America from both sides simultaneously, they haven't forced America to surrender. They have forced America to build an industrial engine that will eventually grind all three of their empires into dust. Act 5. The cliffhanger. Roosevelt has his men. He is building his army. But in the autumn of 1940, the ultimate problem remains unsolved. He has an army, but he still has no war. He cannot fire the first shot. The isolationists in Congress are still watching him like a hawk. He can build all the tanks he wants, but he cannot legally deploy them. He is still waiting for the enemy to make a mistake. He needs a catastrophic, unforced error. He needs the Axis to pull the trigger for him, and 14 months later, on a quiet Sunday morning in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, they will.
The harbor is rocked by a catastrophic blast as a massive battleship erupts in a sudden, violent fireball.
But what exactly went wrong in the intelligence rooms before that Sunday morning? Click the video on your screen to see the fatal mathematical error that doomed the Japanese Empire before the first bomb even dropped.